I'm really grateful to be here today, and I want to thank all of you for being here today also. So yeah, we're here talking about ideas empowered, and we've already heard a few amazing ideas. And I'm willing to bet that the people on this stage aren't the only ones that have the great ideas. I'm willing to bet every single person in this audience has also had amazing, empowering ideas. Ideas that can quite possibly change the world. So some of you maybe took those ideas and actually turned them into reality right away. Others of you maybe took those ideas and just put it on the shelf for a little while. And some of you maybe took those ideas and shared them with a friend and empowered them to take your ideas forward because you just don't think that you're ever going to have the time. Well, I've pretty much done all of the above. But what I'm here to share with you today is how I've taken some of my more empowered ideas and I've turned them into reality, turned them into a conscious, purposeful life, doing what I absolutely love with the people I adore. Now, I've left a pretty privileged life. I'm incredibly lucky. I was brought up with a really loving and supportive family. I went to some of the best schools. I've traveled the world and I've experienced so much. I've had some great ideas. I've also had some not great ideas. But I think one of the best ideas I've ever had in my life was in 1999 when I made a choice to leave the corporate world. I left because I wanted to go on a mission to make the world a better place and send out an SOS to save our seas. Why, you may ask? Well, ever since I was a little girl, I love water. Whether it's the oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, pools, puddles, yes, even bathtubs. Still to this day. But the oceans truly are our life support system, and we need them to be healthy to survive. And currently, as I'm sure a lot of you know, the situation is very grim. Okay, so from ocean acidification to plastic pollution to shark finning, overfishing, the oceans really need our help. So I knew I wanted to do something, but I wasn't exactly sure what or how. So I spoke, well, luckily my father at the time said to me, "Look, don't worry about the details, Lisa. They will come. Just follow your passion and success will follow you." So in 1999, I was training for the McElhose Trail, the 100-kilometer McElhose Trail. Yes, it was definitely one of my crazier ideas. And I got to see some of Hong Kong's most incredible natural beauty. And, the beaches, they look great from afar, but the fact is they are far from great. So I said to myself when I saw this is insane, right? I'd never seen anything like this. I grew up in Canada. I said I was going to do something about it. So I joined a beach cleanup that was led by Christine Lowe, and I believe this was one of the first beach cleanups ever in Hong Kong. And it changed my life forever. I mean, I picked up personally thousands of pieces of trash that day, and I just thought, this is insane. So that same year, I remember the policy address very clearly. And it was quite shocking. They said that the Hong Kong landfills were going to be full, completely full, by 2014 if we didn't do something about it now. And like I said, I grew up in Canada, so I was practically born recycling. And I couldn't believe that there was no recycling in Hong Kong at that time, right? So I thought, okay, well, here's an idea. Maybe I'll set up a recycling company. So I shared the idea with my dad, who at the time was a partner at KPMG here in Hong Kong, and he, along with a number of others, thought it was a terrific idea. So, it was scalable, it had great earning potential, it was a win-win proposition for Hong Kong. So that's what I did. How hard can it be, right? This was the birth of EcoVision. And this was year 2000. And so we designed and manufactured recycling bins, and we placed them in schools and around the city. And it did okay, the company, for a few years. Then in 2003, SARS hit. That same year, my father was diagnosed with cancer. I broke up with the man I thought I was going to marry, and the company was not in very good financial situation. So what was I going to do? Well, I was advised to shut the company, but I refused because I'm a very determined person. And so I thought, gosh, there's got to be a solution. So what is that solution? Yeah, so this wasn't one of my greatest ideas I ever had. But, I needed to escape. I really did. And so I threw myself into the nightclub scene in Hong Kong. And I became a master at escape. I was really quite good at it. And I'm sure some of you may even know firsthand that, the rock star lifestyle is actually quite hard work. It's pretty long hours. But here's the thing, right? It's not sustainable. And so as I was going to meetings and conferences and meeting all these new people in the environmental industry, because I was new in the industry, I really felt like a fraud. I felt like an imposter. I mean, honestly, who am I to be preaching sustainability when I'm not living a sustainable life myself? In 2006, my dad died, and throughout that period, things were going from bad to worse. So I literally sunk into a world of grief, guilt, sadness, and fear. I felt like I was drowning. I hit a low point on my roller coaster of life in 2007, and I'll give you a hint. That's not me in the blue bikini top. But thankfully, I woke up. I had a massive awakening, actually. And I realized deep in my heart that I was here to do so much more. So I knew the first place I had to look was at my passion, at my true purpose. And that passion is water. So was what I was doing with EcoVision really aligned with my passion? To be honest, the waste management industry, recycling infrastructure, it didn't really float my boat, okay? But what did light me up, what really light me up, was the education and events, working with people and affecting behavior change. So this was the beginning of the restructure of my EcoVision. And it took me on a beautiful inward healing journey, one that continues. And this is what I want to share with you, is that I've discovered that, before we can save our seas, we really have to look at saving ourselves. So this quote by Rumi really inspired me. You probably can't read it. It says, "Yesterday I was clever, and so I wanted to change the world. Today, I'm wise, and I'm changing myself." So yes, of course, the roller coaster of life continues with its ups and downs. But now the ride for me is so much more gentle. It's so much more flowing. It's smooth, and it's a hell of a lot less dramatic. So together with my best friend and business partner, the amazing Nisa, and our incredible team, we've created a couple vehicles to save both ourselves and our seas. So I'd love to see a show of hands now. Has anybody heard of the International Coastal Cleanup or the Hong Kong Cleanup? Wow, amazing. Yeah, this event has really, it's just amazing how much it's grown. In the year 2000, we started, and we had 40 volunteers. A couple years later, we had a couple hundred. Then we had a couple thousand. The growth period was a little slow between 2003 and 2006. But in 2007 onwards, we have literally grown exponentially. Last year, we mobilized more than 39,000 volunteers. And we picked up over 100,000 kilograms of trash. Now, this is part of a global initiative. So globally, we mobilized more than 500,000 volunteers and picked up over 5 million kilograms of trash. And actually, that's not what this event is all about. It's really about educating and making people more aware of their actions at home, in school, in the office, so that the trash won't end up on the beaches in the first place. We hit a massive milestone this year. It was just recently announced that Hong Kong came fourth out of 97 countries around the world. Yes, yeah. It really says something. Really says something about our community right now. And this is in terms of total volunteer participation, by the way. So imagine the population of Hong Kong compared to that of the United States. Yeah. So another venture that we've created is a social enterprise called ecozine.com. Has anybody heard of ecozine.com? Whoa. Maybe a fewer, but it's newer, so that's okay. Ecozine.com is an online sustainable lifestyle magazine that aims to make green mainstream. And we want to prove that you don't have to live a life of lack to live sustainably. So please check out the site and join the community. So these projects have both brought great joy and a lot of beauty in our lives. But of course, they didn't just happen overnight. They required structure and planning the right people, funding. And so pulling all of these things together, I've learned, though, the most important thing for me, right, is to make sure that things that I take on in the future are related directly to water and wellness. This is what drives me. So one of the tools that we've created, we call it the ABCs of SOS. And it's just a fun little thing we've created, which is all about the alphabet. And there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so I'm going to just go through them rather quickly. And while I'm doing that, please feel free to think about your own alphabet, what that might look like. My alphabet, just like my life, is about wellness and personal transformation, about really connecting our body, mind, and spirit. So A is for acceptance. Have you ever heard of the saying, whatever you resist persists? Yeah, me too. Believe. Believe in yourself, first and foremost. Co-create with the divine energy. Detachment. Just let go. Exercise. And you can see here from the slides, majority of sport I do involves water, either frozen or fluid. Friendship is truly the backbone of my transformation. I mean, friends to me are family. And I don't know if it's because I've lived overseas for so long, but I doubt it. I think that friendship, it's just one of the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful treasures. Gratitude. Healing. So I started practicing Reiki 14 years ago, and I honestly don't know if I would even be standing here today if I didn't have that in my life. I am. These two words create our reality. So whatever follows is who you are. And today, I am pure joy, kindness, and compassion. Love. It's truly the essence of our being. It's who we all are. And for me, love is also the opposite of fear. Now, has anybody ever been stopped by fear in their life? Experienced any kind of fear, right? So, from what I understand, fear, one of the top fears is public speaking. And, yeah, you can relate, right? So, I've experienced the fear of public speaking firsthand. So much so, in fact, that 3 years ago when I was invited to do a TEDx talk, I declined because I just could not cope with that. So I went on a mission at that point to fight the fear. And what I got to do was, of course, I started by taking a few great courses, and then I went deeper into my spiritual practice and really got to see what caused that fear and how I can alleviate it. And I learned that when love is fully present, fear can't exist. Actually, it's completely impossible. So, I'm love. Meditation, yes. And this is something that I used to be, I think I'm not the kind of person that can meditate, and I now do a daily practice. It's transformed my life. Nutrition. I mean, I could do a whole talk on nutrition, and I'm not even an expert, but it is true, we really are what we eat and drink. Observer. Just know that we are not our body, our mind, our thoughts, and our feelings. Be present. And yes, this is easier said than done. Chi. We are energy beings. Responsibility. This word used to occur to me as quite heavy and significant, and now I choose to see it as the greatest gift in the world. It's amazing. It's just a perception, really. Surrender. Trust. Understanding. Visualize. This was me about a year ago. I competed in my first triathlon in Bali, and I was asked to visualize coming across the finish line on a podium finish, which I didn't even know what that meant. So I did visualize it, and it worked. I couldn't believe it. I came second in my age group and third overall fastest female. Amazing. Thank you. We are one. X, for me, means triple X, and I'm going to leave that up to your imagination. Yoga. It keeps me peaceful, calm, and centered. And last but certainly not least, zero waste. So now I'm going to share a video with you, a short film, it's 1 minute long, that continues to fuel my passion every single time I see it.
Do we have the courage to face the realities of our time and allow ourselves to feel deeply enough that it transforms us and our future?
Do you know that in Hong Kong, we throw away over 1 million single-use plastic bottles every single day? Guess what, guys? As you can see from this video, there is no away. So that's it. That completes, on a little bit of a heavy note, I know, the ABCs of my SOS. My invitation to all of you now is when you leave today to think about what your own ABCs is, right? To create your own. And to do this, I'm inviting you to go deep within your heart and to really think about what lights you up. What's your passion? And if it's the arts or the environment, whether it's education, curing disease, diversity, equality, come up with the best idea that you can think of, an idea that can quite possibly change the world. And take that idea and let's turn it into reality. Because just imagine how much better the world would be if every single one of us did that today. Just imagine. Thank you.